All right, I got a good coaching message for you guys today. My responsibility and how I want to lead this group and where I want to push this group to evolve is I'm going to challenge you in different formats. And what we're going to talk about today is really figuring out where those gaps are, where those missing pieces are, and figure out how we can get from point A to point B. So from where you're currently at to who you want to be, and how does that look for you? So what I'm going to talk about is doing a little audit. In an audit is identifying how are you showing up, the man in the mirror. This is looking at it from that perspective, and then we really want to do a little bit of evaluation and identify your current situation. So here's an example. If you took some time, 3 or 4 minutes, even with maybe taking longer than that, because I'm going to break this down into categories as well, and describe how you're currently showing up in 3 words, if you took the time to do that. And then obviously how you want to show up. Is there a gap in between? So I'll give you a couple examples. A default for some people right now may be a reactive response of how they're showing up, or was it costing, survival, avoidance, lack of clarity. These are just examples, and if your current situation has some of those components going on, we got to figure out again how we're going to bridge that gap. So if we would go back into instead of a default component, which again, I talk about this, your unconscious mind is going to take the least path of resistance, even if it is not serving you. So you will keep doing the same thing. So you got to sometimes step back and evaluate and figure out if the things you're currently doing in an unconscious component, are they serving you properly? Or is it getting you the same results you always have had? So again, you have a default mechanism and you have a design mechanism. Your default mechanism may be what you always did, how you always showed up. Again, I just went through reactive, costing, survival, avoidance, neglect, whatever you want to say. And a design component of how you want to show up would be more like intentional discipline, leading. Again, this is all language components. So a good rule of thumb would be to kind of evaluate where you're currently at. You want to start with fitness because that's where we're at right now. But what is impacting your fitness? Is it your mindset? Is it your preparation? Is it external factors of your current environment? Could be a lot of those things. Sometimes, guys, we will have things that are going to pull and push us, but we have to get through the shit to get to the other side. And again, control what you can control when you're going through the shit. So the domains or reflective components that I would like to have you guys touch on is like fitness is going to be the foundation, mindset, family, leadership, relationship, career, purpose, integrity, how you want to show up, what do you want to look like. Ask yourself, where are you on autopilot in each of these sections? What I'm saying there is, are you just showing up in different areas of your life? And is it in that default mechanism where it's reactive, costing, survival? If you do a quick evaluation, you can be honest with yourself and say, okay, I'm showing up in this autopilot in these certain areas that I need to make some adjustments to show up how I want to. And this is going to be, again, when I talk about design, writing what you want, who you want to be, what does that look like? Again, because your identity, for you to change your habit mechanisms, you have to show up with the identity in the future, who you want to be. What would that guy do? Ask yourself that question. Would he do A or B? That will give you some insight of if I'm going in the right direction or right path. So you can do it in multiple areas of your life and break this down. I've done this, a lot of this work with my NLP training. And then what you want to do you can create in each section the identity of how you want to show up. Example, I've talked about this a little bit. I'm the man who leads with strength, purpose, presence. I plan. Okay, I figure things out. I'm not reactive. I'm proactive. So just different statements that you can kind of write about yourself and where you're currently at, and how you want to create that identity around maybe your autopilot, and you have your autopilot set where it's going in the right direction, not where it's always been. So reactive, negative, disassociation. So again, you create that identity around I am statements aligned with where you want to go, or who you want to be, that new identity. And then what you'd want to do is you can, again, post this or go through all different areas. Start with your fitness, nutrition. Then we go into mindset, and then you can kind of work yourself down. Hey, how am I showing up for my family? What does that look like? How am I showing up for my career? Is it purpose driven? And then you can work yourself even deeper with relationships, religion, identity, in integrity, things of that nature, and define what that looks like for you. So, challenge would be go ahead and identify maybe just three, because I know some of you guys are crunched. 3 areas, and identify: are you running an autopilot? What does that look like? What's the result is it getting you? How could I reframe and rewrite some of this autopilot to get me the results I desire? Who do I need to become? What actions do I need to take? What does that look like? Because again, we will not change unless we have a plan to change, or there's other components why people change. It's not as fun. You can either change because the pleasure's so good that you're going towards it, or the pain is so hard that you're going away from it. So would you either choose pain or pleasure? Pleasure sounds a lot better to me, but that's the only reason we change, unless we design it. Okay, so make sure you do the work. Let me know if you have questions. Again, do a quick audit, maybe 3 areas. Again, fitness, nutrition, mindset, and then if you want to take a little bit more time, how you showing up? Is your autopilot serving you? Again, make sure the language is good too. Okay, guys. Hopefully this helps. I will continue to put out good content for you and challenge you in different ways. And I had a coaching call today. I will start punching out a group call. If you guys, it'll probably be on a Thursday, and I'm looking around at 4 o'clock marker point. But I will start. I'll get that out here. I'll try to shoot it next week and take it from there. So have a great day, guys.